course, chirp one this week, Mr. Smitty.
Yeah.
Cam Neely, in his comments at a recent Boston Bruins event, in his quote, 2 paths that the Boston Bruins are prepared to take this season. One is adding to this team if they continue to be in the playoffs, if you can imagine that.
I can't.
Second is a retool, as he called it.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, anybody with eyes knows it's path 2. And it doesn't matter where the club is in the standings. They need to retool the roster. I mean, we've said this ad nauseum, but Sweeney said the roster was incomplete going into the season. Well, let's make a complete roster, and that involves a retool. So guys that are UFAs, guys that are RFAs that you don't think are going to be a part of your future, even guys under contract that maybe you don't think are going to be part of your future or getting a little up there in age, or that you could get something pretty good for at the trade deadline. You got to ship those guys out. It's time. I think they need a little shakeup to the core of the team as well. I think that would help. Maybe, it's been kind of a country club atmosphere over there since Bruce Cassidy left. And I think they need, an enema of sorts in the organization from top to bottom. And that, to me, is a retool. I would go as far as to call it a rebuild, not a retool, because I don't think they're going to get this thing right on the fly. Like, I just don't think they will. Maybe they'll surprise me and it'll work out. And I hope it does, because I would rather watch good hockey than shitty hockey. And this year, it's been boring, shitty hockey for the most part. So I would rather not watch that and rather watch something good.
So would it be fair to say that as an NHL organization, you obviously want your players to be comfortable in a sense of having the amenities, etc. But have the Bruins let this team get comfortable to the point where actually the team and the management is comfortable to the point where nobody's really afraid of losing their job?
Yeah. I don't know if it's amenity wise. I think it's more they're not held accountable for mistakes.
Well, no. I meant like as an organization, you want your players to be comfortable. Like the Arizona Coyotes 2 years ago, like they couldn't pay hotel bills. They were they didn't have any luxuries as an NHL club, and players do value that when they sign with a franchise. Sure. So in that regard, I'm saying you want them to be comfortable and taken care of, but on the ice, probably not so much.
Yeah. I mean, you do want them to have all the amenities around the organization that would draw players in, that would make them comfortable, to make their families comfortable. State-of-the-art training methods, good weight room, like all that stuff, the good practice facility that they have now, all that stuff makes a difference for sure. But the on-ice stuff is where they've gotten too comfortable, in my opinion. They're not held accountable for mistakes. We've talked about it with how they develop their young kids, their young guys. And it's, those players are held accountable for mistakes. They lose playing time. They're shipped down, whatever the case may be. The veterans on this team have it easy. They are not held accountable at all. They very rarely lose playing time. The first time I can remember anything like that happening at all remotely was when Brad Marchand was benched. Was it in the Ottawa game, the end of the Ottawa game, where he caused the turnover?
Yes.
And he was benched for all of overtime.
Yes. Yep.
And he said
5 shootout loss.
And he didn't participate in the shootout either. So overtime in the shootout, he was not out there. That's the first time I can remember anything like that happening under this regime. So
that's a consequence that you don't care what the outcome of that game was. You were sending a message to that one particular player, regardless. Fuck the game at that point.
Yeah. And I think because of who it was and who it is, he's the captain of the team. That sends a message to everyone else on the team, or it should. Look, if you don't do things the right way, you're going to sit. And that's the way that it should be. Now, can Sacco, get them all to buy into that at this point in time, at this point in the season, after doing things a certain way for going on 3+ years now? I don't know. Maybe. But after that, they come out and they don't look great against San Jose, still find a way to get a win. Then they get trounced by New Jersey, and then they play well against Ottawa. So, is it really sinking in with these guys? I don't think it is. It's just like with their starts. Like, I don't think that stuff it doesn't get through to them. They don't have a sense of urgency every night. It's occasionally they have a sense of urgency, or in a period in a game, they'll have a sense of urgency, but it's not there all the time. And that to me means you got to shake up the core somehow.
Let me assist you with some statistics about Mr. Bradley Marchand.
I would love it.
Since that game where he was scoreless and -1 against Ottawa, the next game he had a goal and an assist and was +4 against San Jose. Congratulations. You beat one of the worst teams in the league and you had a moderately decent game.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats. However, the next game he was scoreless and -1 against New Jersey. And even in the Ottawa game, completely scoreless.
Yeah. I mean, look.
And his ice time is going
down.
Yeah.
Look, that line hasn't been good. They put them together and they haven't been good. The Marchand with Lindholm and, insert random forward here as the third guy. Lindholm is a ghost. He rarely appears at all in any way other than, there's Lindholm taking a face-off, and then he disappears until it's the next time to take a face-off. So he's playing with a guy who has almost no offensive ability and then another random dude. So I'm not going to put 100% of it on Brad Marchand why he's not producing, but he's on the line. He should be the one driving the line, but it's tough when you're with two guys who can't play offense.
Yes. And as a professional would, perfect segues are in order. Today, Joe Sacco came out and had a wonderful conversation with the media that I sent you today, where they talked about Matt Poitras and his use